So today we have Martin from Helmets to Hardhats today, and we'll start off, simple here with just getting to know you and about the program. And so if you just want to kind of introduce yourself, Martin, and a little bit about Helmets to Hardhats, we'll start off there.
Sure. Like you said, I'm Martin Helms. I'm the executive director for Helmets to Hardhats. I'm fairly new to the position, but I'm not new to the program. I'm a 2005 product of the program.
Wow.
When I came home from a deployment in 2005, I'm in the Ohio Army National Guard. And so I came home from a deployment and was already in the electrical career field, but I couldn't get that break I needed to make a good living. So I was at a what we call a yellow ribbon ceremony at the end of that, and at the end of that deployment, in which Helmets to Hard Hats gave like a 5 minute presentation, and immediately it caught my interest. I went to the website, filled out the profile, and then it recommended me to my local union training center, and I applied and got accepted, and my career has literally taken off from there. So. And we can talk more about that here in a bit. But yeah, so that's kind of me in a nutshell. I'm still in the service. I'm a 22-year veteran in the Ohio Army National Guard. My career in the electrical field, in the union electrical career field, is it's just awesome. Where it's taken me just from that one simple 5 minute conversation someone gave me from Helmets and Hard Hats.
Wow.
Excellent. I guess our next question would be, what's the best way the veterans can benefit from your program? Which I know you kind of explained there, but maybe give us more of a day-to-day angle, or someone who's listening to the podcast, kind of specifically how it's going to fit into their toolbox of veteran benefits they have access to.
Yeah. So, and I don't know, veterans obviously are on the receiving end of this. When you come off a active service period, and you're looking for that next stepping stone, that next career that you want to move into, it can be kind of full of anxiety. You are stepping into a world that, do you got the credentials? Who do you got the contacts? Where do I get started? And that's kind of what Helmets to Hard Hats is showing people the great opportunity in the construction trades. We're affiliated with 15 different trade organizations, and that leads to 65 different possible registered apprenticeships, not to include the supportive roles with a contracting company. So you can imagine someone has to estimate, someone has to project manage, and all that. So there's several opportunities that this comes from. So what we do is we provide what I call that helping hand, or the coach, to help people understand what the building trades are about and the potential there, and help them get to that step in that application process for apprenticeship. And we do that by we use our website as our main hub. So a veteran can go to our website, which is www.helmetstohardhats.org, and they go there and they can check out all those different 65 trades I just talked about, and the different trade affiliations, and discover which one do they like. Do you want to be a plumber? Do you want to be a carpenter? Do you want to be an electrician, an equipment operator? And then they can kind of fill out their profile, and then someone from Helmets to Hard Hats and someone from that local training institute where they want to return home to will reach out to them and start helping them along the way of how to apply. And that's kind of how it works, and whatnot. And we're always available at H2H for questions. If we don't know the answers, we'll get them the answers or steer them in the right place as well. We're literally the helping hand to ease that anxiety.
Wow. And so, like, say somebody coming out with like no experience, is that kind of like no experience at all in any of those fields? Are they able to just kind of transition in and get an apprenticeship, or do they need any experience?
So there's no experience is necessary.
Okay.
Military people have experience, they just don't know about it a lot of times. They
Right.
have those what we call those soft skills. They show up on time, they're in the right uniform.
Mm-hmm.
They want to put in a good day's work. Believe it or not, those skills alone right there go a long way in the skilled trades, because the skilled trades, time is money. We're being paid to produce a product, and You know, if you can't do those three simple things, that other product doesn't even get started. So they have skills. They may not know it, but they don't need the trade skills to get started, and whatnot. So if they do have trade skills, though, that can be a perk for sure. And it's not that it's a meant, but I come from the construction side of the Army. I know for a fact, there are several operators, electricians, plumbers, all those people that have those skill set. And truthfully, they join the military to try to learn that skill set, and they want to know where they can take it next. So if they do have that skill set, anything in the construction trades, I would definitely check us out. But no skill is necessary, no credentials prior to applying.
Okay. Awesome. And, we kind of already touched on this too, but so obviously the best place to go to get more information would be the website, like you mentioned, H2H.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we also have not a 1-800 number, but a toll-free number. If people, have questions, it's on our website as well. And we can give that out if that's an easier resource for some.
Yeah, we'll definitely put your website in our description, which should get picked up, and it'll go on our website. And I think you can even access them if you're accessing this on Spotify or Apple or however you do.
Okay.
I think it posts it there as well. So our as you're catching on, our big goal is to make this very easy to access for everybody that's listening.
Yeah. And I was looking at the website, Martin, and there's also like a section there for employers. Is that
Yes.
Okay? Yeah. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So there's basically two avenues we get profiles on. One is obviously a career seeker, someone that's a veteran that's seeking to get into the trades, and two is the employers. And our employers, they get on there and then they get access to they're vetted, they're signatory to a trade union in some capacity, and then they can also see people that applied in their area as well, for them. So it's a way for them to see that. It's also a way for the veteran to see the possible avenues. So it could be an employer, it could be a training center, it can be a local union, that can be considered all in that employer umbrella. So they can keep a really good tabs of who's interested when they apply to their area.
All right. What is what's some advice you would give to a veteran just getting into your program?
The construction trades, the stigma is they don't make great money. It can be very, very gratifying. When you first start off, yeah, you're the new guy, but if you have a strong work ethic and apply yourself every day, the options are endless. Like I said, there's 65 different registered apprenticeship programs, and then with our 15 trade organizations, and then your career can progress. I mean, it just opens doors amongst doors after you complete that initial step of getting your journey level certification. Another thing a veteran needs to think about too is oftentimes they can collect their GI Bill when going through the apprenticeship. So a lot of times people think, oh, I have to go to college to get my GI Bill. Well, the GI Bill has expanded so much in the last 20 years that, registered apprenticeship is definitely a collectible avenue if you want to get that while you're going through the apprenticeship. And just wanted to bring that to their attention. But, my advice, if you want to do it, apply yourself, and like go back to those 3 soft skills of show up on time, and in the right attire, be ready to work with the right tools, and put in a good day, and that will go a long way in your career.
All right. Sometimes we ask too good of questions and we cover the ground too well, and then
Right.
we have less to talk about.
Yeah. So let me expand a little bit about H2H. I kind of told my success story, and the thing is we have over 39,000 known successful transitions of veterans since 2003. Which is roughly just under 3,000 a year, and that's pretty impressive. But I know we can do more, and that's why I really appreciate you guys reaching out to us, because our mission is serious. It changes people's lives. I tell people that all the time. But for a middle class person to have that opportunity to gain an education at almost no cost. They get to collect their GI Bill, and they get a credential that they can, provide for themselves and their family and further their careers to really endless potential is awesome. And that's 39,000 times we've done that. The other thing that people don't realize is, it's kind of like, you see someone else be successful that's close to you. For instance, I have a brother that seen the success I had in electrical trade. And then he's not affiliated with the military. And the next thing you know, he's applying for the apprenticeship and whatnot. So there's a lot of second and third degree effects that Helms to Hardhats doesn't take credit for, because we only want that positive identification. But that just goes to show you what good things can come out of just one good scenario that gets, those effects. So, it's a great program. To those people that are coming in and starting off, you have to want to do it, and it's worthwhile. I mean, if you're not the type to be going to college, not saying you can't, because a lot of our programs have college degrees that are associated with them as well, that you get in conjunction with going through that program. But if you're not exactly college material, and not by intelligence, it's just not your forte, look into the skilled trades, because you get to think with your mind and you get to build stuff with your hands. And there's nothing more gratifying than be able to physically see something develop from a thought, a picture or whatever, and you turn it into reality.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Caitlin, what do you have to add? What are we missing? Because that's the thing, is in these interviews, we don't know everything. That's why we're doing the interview, obviously. But you guys are the experts. Martin's doing a great job filling in blanks. What can you add, if there's anything you want to add?
I think that Martin covered the program itself great, as far as what we do and the effects that we have. What we do is great work. And I think that Helmets to Hardhats is an up and coming program. I think that the future is great and bright for us, and having Martin's leadership and knowledge behind the program is what's really going to set us apart. But I think that that's all I would have to add, honestly, because Martin covered it so well.
We thank you for listening, and we hope you got something helpful out of this.
Right now, the best way to support us is to simply spread the word. If you know a fellow veteran who could use some resources to elevate their life, send them our way.
Until next time, remember to check your 0s, 5s, 10s, and 25s.